You're hearing the noise, right? That the Warriors are cooked. That free agency passed them by. That this dynasty is finally over. But what if I told you that silence doesn't mean surrender? What if I told you this quiet from the front office is exactly how smart franchises operate when they're about to make their move? Welcome to the channel, your home for real basketball breakdowns. Hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications, because today's episode isn't just about trade rumors. It's about strategy, legacy, and what the Warriors are quietly building right behind all the league's noise. By the time we're done here, you'll understand why Golden State's silence is strategic, not surrender. Let's dig in. So here we are. Free agency is nearly over, and the Warriors have yet to announce a single major move. That's not a typo. In a market where teams were scrambling for shooters, defenders, and depth, Golden State stayed still. And to the average fan, that looks like a red flag. But to those who understand how winning cultures operate, this may be the smartest thing they've done in months. Because the truth is, Golden State's big move already happened. And most of the league seems to have forgotten it. Last season, while the world was focused on the Lakers and Nuggets, the Warriors made a seismic trade by acquiring Jimmy Butler. A battle-tested, postseason killer. A man made for the playoffs. But his arrival was quickly overshadowed by Steph's injury, an inconsistent bench, and a brutal Western Conference. But don't mistake bad timing for bad strategy. Butler is still here. Steph is recovering. And the core of this team is locked in. That means the Warriors aren't starting from zero. They're reinforcing what's already built. That's a completely different mindset from a team rebuilding from scratch. So why haven't they signed anyone yet? Because every remaining move depends on one major decision: Jonathan Kuminga. He's the swing factor. The 6'8" forward who showed flashes of brilliance last year is now at a career crossroads. The Warriors must decide, do they extend him long-term or use him in a trade package to bring in veteran contributors? And this isn't just about cap space. It's about identity. If Golden State commits to Kuminga, they're embracing a bridge between eras. If they trade him, they're making it clear, the window is now, and they're going all in on veterans who can win this season. And here's the catch: teams are circling. League sources have already mentioned interest from multiple organizations looking to build around athletic wings. Kuminga's market value has never been higher. But Golden State won't move unless the return is perfect. Behind the scenes, names like Al Horford and DeAnthony Melton are being discussed. Veterans with IQ, toughness, and no need for the ball in their hands. They don't steal the spotlight, but they win games. Horford, the 6'9" defensive anchor, brings leadership and playoff experience. Melton, a relentless 6'3" guard, adds two-way value and could be a stabilizer in the second unit. These aren't names that trend on social media, but they're exactly the types of players championship teams always seem to have in May and June. But don't forget, every move the Warriors make will be about timing. They're not rushing. Why? Because they've earned that right. This is a franchise that's won 4 titles since 2015, built around patience, system fit, and player development. And if you think they're about to blow it all up because Twitter got impatient, think again. What's even more fascinating is that the Lakers, their historic rivals, made their move already. DeAndre Ayton arrived in LA to help fix their frontcourt issues. But beyond that, not much else happened. And that's the issue. The Lakers needed more than one signing. They needed defensive structure, perimeter shooting, and bench help. They got one elite big man, but no backup plan. Analysts are already projecting them to finish right where they did last year, middle of the Western Pack, likely headed for another early playoff exit. Meanwhile, the Warriors, yes, the team being written off, still have cards to play. And that's the part the media keeps ignoring. Moses Moody, for example, is still under the radar. Just 22 years old, standing 6'6", and already showing solid defensive instincts and spot-up shooting, Moody could be a hidden weapon. Teams have made inquiries. Some insiders suggest he could be part of a package deal. But there's a growing sentiment in Golden State that the front office sees him as a long-term contributor. So here's where it all comes together. Golden State is holding its ground, not because it's scared, but because it's smart. They know what they need: rim protection, perimeter defense, and veteran depth. They also know they can't afford to miss. Every dollar counts. Every roster spot matters. This is no longer a team looking 5 years ahead. They're locked in on this season. And they need guys who can show up in Game 6 of a second-round playoff series, not guys who just fill regular season minutes. Steph Curry, still playing at an elite level at 37, deserves that. And the front office knows it. So don't be fooled by the lack of headlines. The Warriors have been here before. And every time people say the dynasty is over, they come back sharper, smarter, and more dangerous. This isn't 2019. It's not 2021. This is the final chapter. The one where you either reload with purpose or fade away quietly. And the Warriors don't fade. Not with Draymond still anchoring the defense. Not with Steph still breaking defenses. Not with Jimmy Butler now part of the equation. The question is no longer if the Warriors will make a move, it's when. And more importantly, who. So keep your eyes on Kuminga. His fate determines the rest. If he stays, expect a long-term plan to develop him into the next cornerstone of the franchise. If he goes, expect a veteran-heavy return, players ready to win now, no development needed. Either way, the next 10 days could define the Warriors' next 2 seasons. Let's be honest, this team is polarizing. Some want to believe the window is closed. Others are clinging to past glory. But the truth? The Warriors are in transition. Not decline. They're evolving. Not collapsing. And that's where real franchises thrive, in the uncomfortable middle ground where decisions are hardest, pressure is highest, and patience is rarest. So what happens next? Likely a signing. Maybe Horford. Maybe Melton. Maybe someone unexpected. But more than any name or number, what matters is that Golden State is thinking. Planning. Calculating. Every move now is about legacy. And they're not going to get it wrong. If you're still with us, here's your moment. Comment below with who you think Golden State should target. Should they commit to Kuminga? Package him for a veteran core? Is there a sleeper name no one's talking about? Let's talk strategy, not just headlines. And don't forget, if this breakdown brought you clarity, hit like, subscribe, and turn on the bell so you're the first to know when that next Warriors domino falls. Because when it does, it'll tell us everything about where this franchise is going. Golden State's next move is coming. And it might be bigger than you think. And here's the key takeaway from the channel: delve into financial education to enhance your quality of life. Within the financial market, explore bonds and shares, particularly focusing on real estate investment trusts, which offer the potential for passive income. Engage with this responsibly and consider reputable investment brokerages worldwide.